it is one of the very important milestones in the Lord Chaitanya's mission to spread Krishna consciousness to every town and village. Prabhupada accepting sannyas may appear to be like a small event, a routine event, but actually it is the most sublime event that took place, and it has turned the history of the world. The civilization was moving in a certain direction, and then Prabhupada, by the indication of his spiritual master, he goes to the Western world, and then before that he got one more indication from his spiritual master that he has to accept sannyas. Everything is under the plan of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Prabhupada always acted on the indication of his Guru and Krishna. So here also, in this particular incident, Prabhupada took the indication. His Guru appearing in dream, talking through somebody, and finally his own god brother, Keshav Prajnana Goswami Maharaj, he also strongly recommends sannyas to Srila Prabhupada so that he can be a preacher and a father to all his disciples. Prabhupada used to say that when I was asked to take sannyas, I thought, oh, Haribol, how can I take? How can I give up my family, my children? So he says, I lost 3 children, but then I got hundreds and thousands of children. So that was his. So he says, one who takes to Krishna will never be a loser. On the other hand, he gains in hundreds and millions. So it's an interesting divine leela of Srila Prabhupada. We should not think that he is real, he is afraid of taking sannyas, or he doesn't want to leave his family life, but rather these are all divine leelas of exalted acharyas, and we have to understand that they are all ordained by Guru and Krishna. So here there is an interaction with Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur during Srila Prabhupada's Gruhastha days. So these are excerpts from our Srila Prabhupada, A Friend to All, compiled by Moola Prakruti Devi Dasi, recollections by Shripad Nayanananda Das Babaji Maharaj, a god brother of Srila Prabhupada. The following recollection was recorded in an interview on March 9th, 1999. Since that time, Shripad Nayanananda Das Babaji Maharaj has left this world. So Srila Nayanananda Das Babaji Maharaj, he recollects, the last year that our Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, organized and performed Gaur Mandal Parikrama, thousands and thousands of pilgrims assembled at our Champahati Mandir. There was a whole village of tents in all directions. On the afternoon of the last day, one of our god brothers had just arrived in Navadvip, having returned from London by boat. He had gone to preach, but had returned without meeting with full success. In the evening, while Guru Maharaj was giving pravachan, he explained that it was his earnest desire that the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should be spread in the Western countries. He told how it was the vision of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that this would happen, and it was also the last request of his mother, Srimati Bhagavati Devi, to him before she left this world. Consequently, he had been willing to take the lifeblood of the Gaudiya Math in funds to send devotees there to preach, but so far these attempts had been largely unsuccessful. At this moment in his talk, I noticed that something very mysterious was happening. Guru Maharaj was looking out at the large crowd of devotees, especially in the front, where all the sannyasis and brahmacharis in red cloth were. Then he turned his head and looked over to his left side, where I was standing. He was looking intently at someone and became silent for a long moment. I happened to look behind me and I clearly saw that the person with whom he was making eye contact was Abhay Charanarvinda Prabhu. I thought that they were looking at each other in a special way. Then Guru Maharaj again addressed the audience in front of him and said, "But I have a prediction. However long in the future it may be, I predict that one of my disciples will cross the ocean and that devotee will bring back the whole world." I remembered this incident and Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj truly made it come to pass exactly in this way. Srila Prabhupada, a humble Grihastha Vaishnava. Srila Nainananda Das Babaji Maharaj recollects, Abhay Prabhu behaved very humbly to everyone, even though he was senior in many ways to most of the people who came later during those 11 years. He would always pay dandavat to others just because they had taken initiation first. Though he had made that devoted connection with our Gurudev first, he didn't formally take initiation until later on because of his family and his business. I clearly recall how very serious, simple and humble he was. Sometimes when I was in Calcutta, I would go to visit him at Sitakant Banerjee Lane, where he had his home and chemical business. Sat Prasanghananda Brahmachari, who is 93-year-old now, and Satish Prabhu, who is 73, used to accompany me when I visited his house on Sitakant Banerjee Lane. He was very affectionate to us. He always welcomed guests into his home. He opened his house to any Vaishnavas from the Gaudiya Math, whether they were his god brothers or young brahmacharis who weren't god brothers and hadn't even been initiated. So these are the recollections from Prabhupada's own god brother, and then we can see how Prabhupada is been. He was a special personality. Even when he was a Grihastha, he used to be serious, simple and humble. And then how his Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta, knows that Prabhupada would spread the message all over the world. Then Srila Prabhupada quits home to be a Vanaprastha. Excerpts from Transcendental Diary, Volume 2 by Harishauri Das. Harishauri Das writes, "You know my story? Tea or me?" He, Prabhupada, asked me. "No, Srila Prabhupada," I said, intrigued and eager to hear. He gave a chuckle. My wife, she was fond of drinking tea. So one day I told her, either you give up your tea drinking or you give up your husband. "Oh, then I will give up my husband." Of course, she thought I was joking. He went on, but a few days later I left the house without telling anyone. I borrowed 10 rupees from a friend and bought a train ticket and I never returned. "Where did you go?" "Somewhere, anywhere," he laughed. He never saw his wife again. So you can see there is a turning point by which he left his house. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur urges Srila Prabhupada to take sannyas. Excerpts from Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita, Volume 1 by Saswarup Das. So this is an interesting narration. One night Abhay had a striking dream. The same dream he had had several times before during his days as a householder. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appeared just as Abhay had known him, the tall, scholarly sannyasi coming directly from the spiritual world, from Krishna's personal entourage. He called to Abhay and indicated that he should follow. Repeatedly he called and motioned. He was asking Abhay to take sannyas. Come, he urged, become a sannyasi. Abhay awoke in a state of wonder. He thought of this instruction as another feature of the original instruction Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had given him at their first meeting in Kolkata, the same instruction that his spiritual master had later solidified in a letter. Become an English preacher and spread Krishna consciousness throughout the Western world. Sannyas was for that end, otherwise why would his spiritual master have asked him to accept it? Abhay reasoned that his spiritual master was saying, now take sannyas and you will actually be able to accomplish this mission. Formally the time was not right. Abhay deliberated cautiously. By accepting sannyas, a Vaishnava dedicates his body, mind and words totally to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, renouncing all other engagements. He was doing that already. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had offered sannyas to his leading disciples so that they could continue his mission. They hadn't done it. Preaching in the West had proved perilous, even for the Gaudiya Math's most recognized sannyasis. How could he, a mere householder, presume he could succeed where the others had failed? He was hesitant. The helpless, incapable feeling he had expressed in his Virahastaka was there, but now his spiritual master was beckoning him over all other considerations, even over natural humility. Now, although he was elderly and alone, the desire to preach just as his spiritual master had preached remained within him, a fierce, though sometimes quietly expressed determination. The Vedic standard and the example set by the previous acharyas was that if one wanted to lead a preaching movement, sannyas was required. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta had taken sannyas to facilitate his missionary work. Lord Chaitanya had taken sannyas to further the Sankirtan movement. Of course, Lord Chaitanya was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but when his young students had been disrespectful towards him, treating him as an ordinary man, he had taken sannyas. Because a sannyasi is automatically respected, Lord Chaitanya's acceptance of sannyas was a calculated tactic. As soon as he began traveling throughout India as a sannyasi, he immediately attracted thousands of followers to the Sankirtan movement. Abhay turned to Keshav Maharaj in Mathura, and Keshav Maharaj told Abhay to take sannyas immediately. After corresponding with Tirtha Maharaj, Abhay had felt some uncertainty about accepting sannyas, and now that he was being encouraged to so strongly, he resisted, but Keshav Maharaj was insistent. Srila Prabhupada, I was sitting alone in Vrindavan writing. My god brother insisted to me, Bhaktivedanta Prabhu, you must do it. Without accepting the renounced order of life, nobody can become a preacher. So he insisted. Not he insisted, practically my spiritual master insisted. He wanted me to become a preacher, so he forced me through this god brother. You accept. So unwillingly I accepted. So here Keshav Maharaj, His Holiness has played a very important and instrumental role in fulfilling Bhaktisiddhanta's desire and instruction. He forced Prabhupada to accept sannyas. On October 21st, 1968, on the occasion of the disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada's sannyas guru, Bhakti Prajnana Keshav Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada recalls in ISKCON Seattle. Prabhupada, one has to accept the renounced order from another person who is in renounced order. So I never thought that I shall accept this renounced order of life. In my family life, when I was in the midst of my wife and children, sometimes I was dreaming my spiritual master that he is calling me and I was following him. When my dream was over, I was thinking, I was little horrified. Oh, Guru Maharaj wants me to become sannyasi, how can I accept sannyas? At that time, I was feeling not very satisfaction that I have to give up my family and have to become a mendicant. At that time, it was a horrible feeling. Sometimes I was thinking, no, I cannot take sannyas. But again, I saw the same dream. So in this way, I was fortunate. My Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada begins to cry, choked voice, Jai Radha Govinda ki. My Guru Maharaj pulled me out from this material life. I have not lost anything. He was so kind upon me. I have gained. I left 3 children. I have got now 300 children. So I am not loser. This is material conception. We think that we shall be loser by accepting Krishna. Nobody is loser. I say from my practical experience. I was thinking that how can I accept this renounced order of life? I cannot accept so much trouble. But I retired from my family life. I was sitting alone in Vrindavan writing books. So this, my god brother, he insisted me, Bhaktivedanta Prabhu. This title was given in my family life. It was offered to me by the Vaishnava society. So he insisted me. Not he insisted me, practically my spiritual master insisted me through him that you accept. Because without accepting the renounced order of life, nobody can become a preacher. So he wanted me to become a preacher, so he forced me through this god brother, you accept. So unwillingly I accepted. And then I remembered that he wanted me to go to the Western country. So I am feeling now very much obliged to this god brother that he carried out the wish of my spiritual master and then forced me to accept this sannyasa order. In fact, in the same meeting in the ISKCON Seattle, Prabhupada officially composes one letter and he composes one verse, a Sanskrit verse on Bhakti Prajnana Keshav Maharaj. And when he came to know that Maharaj passed away from this world, so on the ISKCON letterhead, he composes a condolence message and he composes a Sanskrit shloka glorifying Keshav Maharaj, and then they all sign. Prabhupada explains that his god brother Keshav Maharaj, he has gone back to Krishna. He has reached the spiritual abode and joined the entourage of Krishna. So he composed a Sanskrit shloka in order to appreciate Keshav Maharaj's services. So here the next is Prabhupada accepts sannyas. These are excerpts from Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita Volume 1 by Saswarup Das. Keshavji Gaudiya Math was located in the midst of one of Mathura's downtown bazaars. Its main entrance, an arched doorway, led into a courtyard open to the sky through a metal grating above. Abhay Babu entered the matha dressed in white, but he would soon be leaving dressed in saffron as Swamy. Abhay had been living as a renunciant for 9 years. There was no need for him to observe a ceremony or to proclaim himself a sadhu by changing to saffron dress. But it was the parampara system that a man take Tridandi sannyas at the end of his life. He was aware of the cheating sannyasis Even in Vrindavan, he had seen so-called sadhus who did not preach but simply spent their days hunting for chapatis. Some Swamis of Vrindavan even indulged illicitly in what they had supposedly come here to reject, sex life. Such persons were making a mockery of sannyas. And there were the caste Goswamis also, who lived like ordinary householders, running temples as a business to support their families and accepting honor and donations from the public on the false basis of birth. Abhay knew of these abuses of sannyas, but he also knew the real purpose of sannyas. Sannyas was for preaching. On the morning of September 17, 1959, in the 50 by 25 foot DT room on the second floor of the Keshavji Mutt, a group of devotees sat before the deities of Radha, Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. The deities were colorfully dressed in royal clothing and silver crowns. Abhay sat on a mat of kusha grass beside 90-year-old Sanatan, also to receive sannyas that day. Sitting opposite the two candidates, Narayan Maharaj, Keshav Maharaj's disciple, prepared to conduct the ceremony of mantras and offering of grains and ghee into the fire. Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji, Abhai's godbrother, known for sweet singing, played mridanga and sang Vaishnava bhajans. Sitting on a raised asana, His Holiness Keshav Maharaj presided. Narayan Maharaj chanted the required mantras and then sat back silently while Keshav Maharaj lectured. Then, to everyone's surprise, Keshav Maharaj asked Abhay to speak. Abhay had always been a special personality. Abhay had not expected this. As he looked around at the gathering of devotees, he understood that the common language was Hindi. Only Keshav Maharaj and a few others spoke English. Yet he knew he must speak in English. After Abhay's speech, each initiate received his sannyas danda, the traditional head-high staff made of 4 bamboo rods bound together and completely enwrapped in saffron cloth. They were given their sannyas garments, 1 piece of saffron cloth for a dhoti and 1 for a top piece and 2 strips for underwear. They also received tulsi neck beads and the sannyas mantra. Keshav Maharaj said that Abhay would now be known as Bhaktivedanta Swamy Maharaj and that Sanatan would be Muni Maharaj. After the ceremony, the 2 new sannyasis posed for a photo, standing on either side of their sannyas guru, who sat in a chair. This is a famous picture. You would have seen sannyas guru is in the middle and Prabhupada and Muni Maharaj are on the either side. Keshav Maharaj didn't impose any strictures on Abhay. He simply encouraged him to go on preaching. Yet Abhay knew that to become A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami did not mean merely that he was given up family, home comforts and business that he had done 5 years ago. Changing from white cloth to saffron cloth, from Abhay Babu to Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj had a special significance. It was the mandate he had required, the irrevocable commitment. Now it was only a matter of time before Bhaktivedanta Swami would travel to the west as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati had ordained. This was Bhaktivedanta Swami's realization of his new sannyas status. The Gaudiya Patrika's account of the sannyas initiation included a biographical sketch of Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, listing the major events of his life. The article concluded, this is from Gaudiya Patrika, seeing his enthusiasm and ability to write articles in Hindi, English and Bengali, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj gave him the instruction to take Tridhandi sannyas. For nearly 1 year, he had been ready to accept sannyas. In the month of Bhadra, on the day on which Vishwarupa accepted sannyas, Bhaktivedanta Swami at the Sri Keshavji Gaudiya Mat accepted sannyas from the founder of the Vedanta Samiti, Bhakti Prajnana Keshav Maharaj. Seeing him accept his ashrama of renunciation, seeing this pastime for accepting the renounced order of life, we have attained great affection and enthusiasm. Next, one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, Rupa Vilas Das, recalls, We were spending a little time with Prabhupada's god brother, Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, with whom he had a very affectionate relationship. He was telling us the story of Prabhupada's taking sannyas, and he said, the ceremony was going on with Keshav Maharaj overseeing and conducting the initiation. Narayan Maharaj was chanting the mantras and I was doing bhajan. But as is my habit, I got a little too loud. So Keshav Maharaj was making a gesture with his hand palm down, as if to say, not so loud, like sometimes we say, no? Krishnadas Babaji said, and as soon as he would turn his head, Yo Prabhupada would go like this, turning his palm up, indicating to chant louder. Then Krishnadas Babaji laughed, as he always did, and he said, it was then that I knew he would be the leader of the Hare Krishna movement. Prabhupada ki jai. Excerpt from Srila Prabhupada at Radha Dhamodha by Mahanidhi Swamy. After Srila Prabhupada taking sannyas, Narayan Maharaj recalls, I would visit Srila Prabhupada many times while he was staying at Radha Dhamodha temple between 1962 to 1964. One time I went there and he was sitting on the floor on a torn quilt. After sitting down on my chadar, we both discussed the Srimad Bhagavatam. There was no bed in Prabhupada's room. He was sleeping on the floor. On another occasion, Narayan Maharaj recalls, often we would have kirtan in his room at Radha Dhamodha. Prabhupada played mridanga. I played kartals. He used to tell me how he was planning to go to America and other Western countries. He said, I want to preach as Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has ordered me, and I want to publish BTG in huge scale and preach in Western countries. If there will be need, I will establish boarding facilities for interested people. If they want, I will give meat also, and eggs also, and wine also. I believe that after hearing Harinam Sankirtan and the Siksha instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then certainly they will reject all these things and surely they will become pure Vaishnavas. So this was Prabhupada's mood. The key thing is to introduce Harinam Sankirtan and introduce the instructions as given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So once people develop higher taste, they automatically give up all these sinful activities. Srila Prabhupada teaches by example. Excerpts from Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita, Volume 4. In Nairobi, Srila Prabhupada demonstrated how a sannyasi should preach. For 1 month, he strictly followed Vedic tradition by staying only 3 days or less in the home of each of his Indian hosts. Then, although his hosts always provided him good food and comfortable accommodations, he would move on to the next place. This was the rule for sannyasis. Prabhupada said it kept them from becoming attached to bodily comforts and from inconveniencing their hosts. So Prabhupada was in Nairobi, we can see, so considerate, and he strictly followed the sannyasi rules of staying only 3 days at a particular house of the host. So Prabhupada has shown by example in all facets of Vaishnava life. That's why he is an Acharya. Acharya means one who shows by example. So the sannyas that Prabhupada gave to his disciples is called preaching sannyas. It is meant for preaching. A sannyasi should travel and continuously preach the divine message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. So fortunate that we came in touch with His divine grace. He picked us up and He accepted as His disciples. So although we all apparently came out of the families and but we were given a new life. Initiation means a new life. Prabhupada has given a new life, and we got a new father, our eternal father, and so that's what Prabhupada is mentioning. So this is a very historical incident in the history of this world. The world has access to an eternal father. So some people may accept him, some people may not know that he is the father of this world, of this universe. And so our duty is to spread this message, give access to Srila Prabhupada. There are some so-called Vaishnavas, they try to cut off this access to Srila Prabhupada, to accept him as an eternal father. But then Prabhupada and Krishna, they are kind. They ensure that such system is still existing even now, even today. This planet is not yet bereft of a bona fide father or an eternal father. So this is glory of Srila Prabhupada. He is actively there, and he is watching all of us, and by his mercy we will be able to do some service and please him. And if Prabhupada is pleased, Nityananda is pleased, Lord Chaitanya is pleased, and Radha Govinda will be pleased. So this is our fortune. So one should always remember these pastimes of Srila Prabhupada and see how far and how much we can preach and expand this mission. Prabhupada will be extremely happy if this mission of spreading the holy names is spread far and wide. So each devotee should become a strong preacher, a strong soldier, by first of all studying and practicing, and then preach rigorously to the people of this world. And as soon as people understand this message, they will give up all their lower habits and sinful life and accept a sublime life of Krishna consciousness. With this, we'll close here. So Prabhupada ki jai.
శ్రీకృష్ణుణ్ణి చేరుకోవడానికి, కృష్ణ భక్తిని అందరికీ అందించటానికి బృందావనం వైపు ఉరకలేస్తున్న యమునోత్రి. విష్ణుపాదమే తన పుట్టినిల్లుగా కైలాసం చేరుకోవడానికి పరుగులు తీస్తున్న గంగోత్రి. కురుక్షేత్ర ఘోరహత్యా పాపం శంకరుణ్ణి శాంతపరచడం లక్ష్యంగా పాండవులు నిర్మించిన కేదార్నాథ్. సమస్త సాధు పుంగవులకు, ఋషులకు, ఆధ్యాత్మిక సాధనకు స్ఫూర్తినిచ్చే నరనారాయణులను నడయాడిన ప్రదేశం బద్రీనాథ్. శ్రీకృష్ణుణ్ణి చేరుకోవడానికి, కృష్ణ భక్తిని